The mindset of successful people is different than the mindset of the average person. And I will tell you, small-minded entrepreneurs get caught up in that noise, and that's why it's an early exit sometimes in this space. We all have 3 different zones when it comes to playing it safe. We have a comfort zone, we have a stretch zone, and we have a danger zone. We make 1,000 promises to ourselves every single day. How many of those do we break? Successful entrepreneurs don't break them. The reality is most people will never succeed as an entrepreneur. They think too small, they don't act bold enough, and they don't have the grit to stay in the game. If I knew at 18 what I know now, I would have scaled faster. I would have made fewer mistakes, and I would have dominated sooner. Pay attention. Today, I'm gonna give you 9 game-changing lessons from my experience and the experience of highly successful entrepreneurs that can be an absolute game changer for you to be a successful entrepreneur. I'm Chad Carden, and I have spent over 2 decades networking with the top leaders and top entrepreneurs across the globe. I've learned battle-tested strategies that if you will actually implement and take serious, they can be complete game changers in your life. Let's look at those each individually and talk about how you can implement them immediately. So let's go down a journey. Let's break it up into 3 parts. 1, what I wish I knew at 18. 2, the lessons I've learned from other entrepreneurs. And 3, what I know to be true today about successful people. Let's start with what I wish I knew when I was 18 years old. I'm telling you, I thought that entrepreneurship was all about grinding and working hard. And there's an element of that. Please don't misunderstand me. I don't want to make it sound easy. But if I knew these things at 18 years old, I promise you I would have been here, now at 48, a hell of a lot faster. Number 1 is take more risks. I really wish that I would have taken more risks along my path. Somebody once told me that the greatest risk in the world is being unwilling to take a risk. I had so many opportunities to be in a room with the top entrepreneurs that maybe cost me a little bit of money that I maybe didn't have at that time. I had opportunities to travel to different places that I maybe didn't take. I had opportunities to get into business or potentially make investments that I didn't make. So if I would have taken those risks or taken more risks, calculated, educated risks, certainly, but if I would have taken more risks, I would have been in a completely different spot, in an even better spot than where I am today. So number 1, take more risks. Number 2, never forget the people that helped you get to where you are. It's easy sometimes to think that I did it all. It's easy sometimes for my ego to show up and say that I'm a self-made entrepreneur, I'm a self-made multimillionaire, whatever it is it might be. But ultimately, there have been a ton of people along the way that I never want to forget. I am warming my hands at fires I did not create. I am walking down paths that I did not chop down. There were people ahead of me. Somebody once told me that they're standing on the shoulders of giants. I am standing on the shoulders of giants, of people along the way. Never forget that. Don't become the person that's automatically successful and forgets the people that help you get there, whether it's your family, your friends, other entrepreneurs, your mentors, people that maybe just gave you one piece of advice that was absolutely game-changing. I could create a laundry list of people that literally could fill the next 3 hours of people that helped me get there. My mission is to make sure that they understand their impact and that they understand my authentic appreciation for them. So never forget the people that help you get there. And the last one is be more adventurous. Take the opportunity to actually experience life. For the first 10 years, I think I just got caught up in business mode. I really maybe neglected my personal side, neglected the travel, neglected the opportunities to spend time with people outside in my social network. Maybe there were some relationships that maybe suffered when I was early because I thought I just had to put my head down and do everything I could in the business mode. If I had to go back at 18 years old, I would be more adventurous. I would challenge myself to take more experiences. If I had to go back when I was 18, I would have sooner, because I have created this already, but I would have sooner not created a bucket list, but remove the B and input the F. Jesse Itzler, actually, I learned this from him. He said, create the F it list. You can fill in the blank there. And I did. About 5 or 6 years ago, I created an F it list, which means there are just certain things that if I ever get the opportunity to do it, F it, we're going to do it. I had the opportunity in 2011 to take my dad to the Masters. F it, let's do it. I had the opportunity to take Sarah and my dad to the World Series. F it, let's do it. I had the opportunity to take my sons to the Super Bowl. F it, let's do it. I had the opportunity to create some investments. I said, F it, let's do it. Like, there is an F it opportunity where I have never regretted taking those opportunities because they have created lifelong experiences that have fulfilled me. But more importantly, it's allowed me to elevate and actually live life in a different experience than I could have ever imagined before. So when it comes to taking more risks, being more adventurous, never forgetting the people that you're there. If I knew that when I was 18, I'm 48 years old now. All those things are present in my life, and I am blessed to live a life that I couldn't even imagine. And I'm not saying that pridefully. I'm not saying that arrogantly. I'm just saying it's because I have those things show up in my life. I wish they would have showed up when I was 18 years old. If you're young in this business, if you're young in your entrepreneurial journey, take more risks. Never forget the people that get you there, and be willing to be more adventurous with the experiences that you experience in life. That's what I wish I started at 18 years old. The second bucket of this is lessons that I've learned from other entrepreneurs. I have been blessed to have a network of people, and I don't know how I did it. I'm always comfortable enough to tell you I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm confident enough to tell you I'll figure it out. But I've been blessed to be surrounded with some of the top entrepreneurs across the globe. Some of the names that you know, I have paid to be in these networks. I have organically grown these networks. I have a personal board of directors that some of these people sit on I have just learned from over the years that have allowed me to elevate my game because what I've learned from them. Let me give you some of those things that I believe will help you along your entrepreneurial journey. One of the things that I have been challenged with in my life that I have learned from other entrepreneurs is to just be really good at life. Right? It's not about that they're successful in one area and they fail in another. I know tons of entrepreneurs that are very successful in their business, but their personal life is in shambles. I know others that their personal life is really good, but their business is struggling. Really successful entrepreneurs, the top entrepreneurs, have the totality of the picture figured out. They don't create a work-life balance. They create work-life integration. Everything is just life. They're just living it, they're loving it, they're having fun, and other people can decide if they're working or if they're playing. But to them, they're doing it all the time. So really getting good at life. The second one is that they have a long-term vision. They're not caught up in the everyday. When you have a long-term vision of what you want to accomplish, the little things that sometimes are challenging you in the everyday really don't matter because you keep your sights on that long-term vision. They understand that when they start a business or start a new venture or start a new revenue stream within their own business, that it takes 3 times the effort, 3 times the money, 3 times the length to make it happen. They don't expect success to happen overnight. I'm part of a mastermind group that you have to have a 25-year vision to even get in. That's table stakes to play the game. There's a guy in there that's 83 years old that has a 25-year vision of what's happening. When you have a 25-year vision, it really doesn't matter what happens on Friday. Like they're able to overcome that because they're thinking so much bigger, they're thinking so much better, and they're challenging themselves to stay focused on the long-term vision, not get caught up in the everyday bullshit that sometimes happens that hinders success. And I will tell you, small-minded entrepreneurs get caught up in that noise, and that's why it's an early exit sometimes in this space. And the third thing I've learned from other successful entrepreneurs is that they do an amazing job of elevating others. They rarely take the credit for success. They're helping people along the way. It really does a couple things for them. One, it creates huge advocacy in the team that they've created. And 2, it creates leverage. When they can set up experts and help create a team that's full of people doing their roles, driving their mission, it takes the stress and the onus and the weight off of them. And so they really do a good job of elevating others, finding the right people, giving them opportunities to thrive in their role and getting the hell out of the way, and then giving appreciation and showing that recognition every time to continuously elevate that person, elevate that team, elevate that brand. I have learned a ton of lessons from successful entrepreneurs that I'm still learning today, but ultimately it's really living life. It's really having a long-term vision. And it's really elevating others to drive the mission forward and creating those win-win-win situations. If you do those things and focus on those things, I promise you, it doesn't make your journey easy, but it does make it easier to get to where it is you want to go. These ideas and insights have absolutely changed the way I play the game and have absolutely elevated my results. If you're ready to change the way you play the game and elevate your results, go to thedesignleader.com and download the Ultimate Success Cheat Sheet. It's absolutely free, packed with powerful strategies that will set you up to elevate your game and take you wherever it is you want to go. The link is in the description below. The last topic of conversation is what I absolutely know to be true about successful people. There are many elements to successful people, but the one common core that shows up every time is mindset. I could literally give you 1,000 ways to be successful, but if you don't have the right mindset, you will not absorb them, you will not take them in, you will not implement, you will not act, and you will not see anything different. And then you will just continue to create excuses on why these things don't work. The mindset of successful people is different than the mindset of the average person. Let me break it down into 3 different buckets. First, the mindset of be bold in your actions. They are not scared to take a risk. Think about this for a second. It's like your life has 10,000 acres to play on. Most people play within about an acre of space. That's all they believe to be true. Or think about a house and your life has 900 rooms in it and you play in one. Successful people have a mindset of bold. They're willing to go out there and adventure. They're willing to go out there and explore. They're willing to look at how can I take the 10,000 acres in my life or the 900 rooms and make sure that I explore every facet of it to get the most out of life. It's the mindset of being bold, taking those risks, and be willing to truly live into a life that is fulfillment, where they look back and don't think, I wish I would have. They look back and say, it's been a hell of a ride. The next one is stop playing it safe. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. Sometimes as entrepreneurs and we're running businesses, we have to take those risks. Sometimes we might have to lay out some financial piece. Sometimes we might have to hire that person. Sometimes we might have to say yes to something that we're not ready for, but we have to begin to live into it. Stop playing it safe. You will never grow in that comfort zone. We all have 3 different zones when it comes to playing it safe. We have a comfort zone, we have a stretch zone, and we have a danger zone. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, not everybody, it's not right, but sometimes as an entrepreneur, we have to be willing to get in that danger zone. And we have to have a little bit of faith that when we take the next step, that there'll actually be something underneath our feet that will prop us up, that will help us take the next one. Playing it safe does not win the entrepreneurial game. Playing it safe allows you to go back into mediocrity, allows you to go back into maybe the masses, but it certainly doesn't set you up to win in this space. And the last one is be selfish. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but let me explain. I mean selfish in a good way. Successful entrepreneurs don't just look in the window. They look in the mirror and they realize that if their tank is empty, they can't be at their best. When I'm not at my best, I am not at my best. I'm not the best dad. I'm not the best husband. I'm not the best leader. I'm not the best business owner. I'm not the best advisor to our clients. When I'm running on E, it's hard to be at my best. So being selfish in a positive way means, what is it that I need? Or what is it that you need to fill your tank to truly be successful and show up in a way that elevates your game and creates success in the space that you're in? Let me give you a few examples of what I mean. Successful people. Successful people really are selfish in a positive way because they understand what's important to them. They understand what they value in life. They have non-negotiables. Every single day, there are non-negotiables in their life that show up, whether that's through their faith, not here to argue it, through the way that they spend time with their family, through the way that they show up with their business, to the way that they show up in social with their friends, to the charity event, to the way they take care of their health. There's non-negotiables in their life every single day, and they're not willing to negotiate or change that because they know that's going to set them up for success. Another thing of being selfish in a positive way is they're willing to say no. Successful entrepreneurs and successful people, many times others are grabbing and vying for their time. They understand and say yes to the things that move them forward. More importantly, say no to the things that aren't going to help them, their company, their business, their clients move in the right direction. Being willing to say no is not selfish in a bad way. It's selfish in a good way. And the last thing they do to be selfish in a positive way is they stop bullshitting themselves. They keep the promises they make to themselves. We make 1,000 promises to ourselves every single day. How many of those do we break? Successful entrepreneurs don't break them. They make promises to themselves, they stay committed to themselves, and they follow through to make sure that it's helping move in a good direction. So again, there are a lot of things that create successful entrepreneurs, but here are the ones that I truly know to be true. They're truly bold in their actions. They truly think bigger. Adam Carroll, a good buddy of mine, says, if you want to become bigger, you have to think bigger. You have to ask bigger questions that will give you better answers that live into life. So they truly are bold in their actions. They don't play it safe. They live a lot of times in the danger zone, and they're comfortable being uncomfortable, and they're selfish in a positive way. They create non-negotiables in life. They don't bullshit themselves. They commit, they make promises, they implement, they move forward. That helps them and helps the people that they serve in life create a better path and more fulfillment. Those are the things that they do. So success isn't an accident. It's a result of the right mindset. It's a result of the right skills. It's a result of the right actions. What are you doing to set yourself up for success? Again, most entrepreneurs will fail. Most people don't have what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. If you take these 9 game-changing lessons and just implement half of them, hell, just implement one of them, you will see differences and you will be on an easier path, not easy, but an easier path to set yourself up for the highest probability of success. Take one, implement it, see what happens. So if this video resonated with you, watch my next video on how to get ahead of 99% of people. Check it out here.